And also, I will be deleting this from chat. Don't joke like this, okay? Destiny revisits the kill stream. Nick Fuentes, Lieutenant Corbus, and Brittany Venti. Ethical child porn. This is a live stream where Destiny debates the ethics of child porn with Lieutenant Corbus, who I believe is at the time around 15.
Then yeah, you should be allowed to dox like that place and even SWAT that place. Fuck.
You cannot give me a situation where doxing someone is going to be more beneficial than calling the cops.
Oh, I get you.
I need to have like a 12-year-old.
Whoa!
So he feeds into, he literally raids into an admitted small peep who is farming his minor child, who's being farmed by Drew Pavlu.
That's rough. Jesus. Enough goofing around. Godspeed for the 5 Canadian had the entire block bumping Jay off at the function. Can't wait to hear more. What does that mean? What is Jay off? What's that? Jay off? Jerking off. Had the entire block bumping jerking off at the function. Oh, wait, is that my song? Wait, that's my song, right? I completely forgot I did that. Career he still has. Anyway, I've rambled enough. I'll leave a few videos in the description by other creators who have covered Glass in case you want to watch more about this guy. But outside of that, let's end this video off with something special. Something special. Look, he gave you his car. My shift at Arby's never starts. Waiting on. Jerking off. You know that I would wait for you. The fact I'm not 6'2". All right, enough of this. We have things we got to go over. We got shit we got to touch on. Who the fuck is DMing me on Discord? Who the fuck? Okay, well, that's settled. How many viewers are we at? 37 viewers? Hi, guys. As is tradition, should I show the subreddit since I've been streaming more? We can show the Reddit a little bit. I don't think there's been any posts on it. What happened? Seriously. What happened? Seriously. Wow. W. Listen, guys, if you want to post like a meme or a clip or a tweet, even if it's like unrelated to any drama, you just want me to look at something, I'll put the Reddit in the chat. I'll show it a little bit. I do want to encourage some community. I know Queeman and Aiden are really good at this, right? Queeman and Aiden are really good at promoting community interaction and stuff like that. I am not, you know, I don't think I have that big of a community, but it would be nice. It'd be nice to get a little community going. A little community of little dysgenic freaks. All right. Little community of dysgenic freaks. So if you guys would like to participate, there's the Discord. The Discord's dead as fuck. Yeah, let's get more people in the Discord. We have a Discord server as well. I'll show the Discord a little bit. I'm assuming all fucking 40 of you are in the server already. Join the server. You can post like fan art. You can talk with the community. There's a topic suggestions channel, and I'll usually go there if I run out of shit to cover and see what you guys are posting. What else? What else? What else? What else? That's probably it. I don't have like a Twitter community or something. I don't really care about Twitter, like having a community on Twitter, to be fair. Join the Discord, participate in the Reddit. You know, even in chat, just talk in chat. Okay, let's get the Mrow community going. Surely. So this Antwez guy, is this a big account or is this like a nobody glob shitto? He has 80,000 followers. And he's tweeting about Lil Tay's OnlyFans. OnlyFans must be banned. Okay, legit question, folks. I gotta ask this, because if I'm not the one to ask this, who will? Who will? What is the point of the age of consent if when someone waits till after the age of consent, people still get upset? What's even the point? What's even the point of the age of consent? Should we just ban sex? Ban sex until you're married. How about that? I feel like that would solve the issue. All these people complaining, freshly 18, freshly 18. Just ban sex. Make it so you have to get married. Lifelong commitment to your partner. Lifelong commitment to your partner. Make cheating illegal. What else? I don't know. That's it, I guess. I don't fucking know, dude. Whatever. Okay, this Antwez guy has like 80,000 followers. Okay, that's pretty significant, I would say. And he posts on Twitter, Destiny's 14-year-old son admits, I'm a Nazi. Now, I'm going to make it abundantly clear. I don't want to bring people's children into it. I am personally uncomfortable, significantly criticizing Destiny's kid. I'm not even going to name him. Obviously, his name is on screen, but I'm not even going to name him. I'm personally uncomfortable with that. Am I going to heavily critique someone else that does it? Maybe slightly. Maybe slightly. Okay? Maybe slightly. Okay? However, I'm just personally, I'm not going to attack him because he's young. He's probably going to have silly beliefs. I don't think he should be scrutinized for these. When he's an adult, maybe. When he's an adult, and he has more agency and stuff like that, I think it's fine to criticize him. But as of now, I'm personally against it. I don't want to be, he needs to be totally ignored and nobody should be propping him up in interviews and debates. That is my opinion precisely. That is my opinion precisely. I think... Yeah, I agree completely. People should not be giving this kid attention. What is going on with him is actually really disgusting. He's been tweeting out, people are DMing him, like the videos of Destiny sucking cock and shit. I feel bad for him. I know people will kind of freak out saying like, oh, he's admitting to be a Nazi or whatever. And it's like, dude, like, come on. Like, I don't know. This is just, come on. Like, I feel bad for the kid. I do feel bad for the kid. I'm not going to criticize him. I'm not going to really talk about him. That's not the point I'm bringing this up. To be clear, I want to make it abundantly clear. Okay, I want to make it abundantly clear. And also, I will be deleting this from chat. Don't joke like this, okay? I feel like I need to draw the line somewhere. Jokes like this, pedophile jokes directed at someone's in real life kid, I feel like are where I personally will draw the line. Okay, jokes are jokes. I understand that was a joke. However, we are going to draw the line somewhere, and I think we're going to draw the line at that. I don't want to criticize this kid. I don't want to shit on this kid. Okay? I understand it's a joke, and I don't want to ban jokes entirely. That's not what I'm going to do. All right? But to be clear, I am going to draw the line somewhere, and just right now, that is the line. I don't want to encourage that type of behavior. Okay? Don't want to encourage that at all. I understand it's a joke. Absolutely not going to encourage that. So Not So Erudite, which is Destiny's #1 ball washer, ball gargler, all over the fucking nuts. Can we maybe leave kids out of it? Now, generally, I agree with this. However, folks, generally, I agree with this. Generally, I agree with this. All right? Generally, I agree with this. However, what is this? From 6 years ago, Destiny revisits the kill stream. Nick Fuentes, Lieutenant Corbus, and Brittany Venti. Ethical child porn. This is a live stream where Destiny debates the ethics of child porn with Lieutenant Corbus, who I believe is at the time around 15. So I just feel like personally, okay? I just feel like personally, when you're the one saying this, can we maybe leave kids out of it? When Destiny has a history of, you know, but you're not going to talk about Destiny. I understand that. And I kind of point this out. So I make a tweet. I respond, yeah, we should probably leave kids out of it, huh? Probably pretty bad that Destiny raided into a self-described pedophile reacting to his 14-year-old debating. Or what about the time Destiny debated Lieutenant Corbus, who was underage, about the ethics of child porn? Pretty bad, huh? And I include a screenshot of Destiny raiding into food shops when Food Shops is gazing lovingly at this epic debate with Drew Pavlo and Destiny's child. Now, I stand by this 100%. I don't like Erudite. I don't like Erudite. I don't like Erudite insofar as, like, I feel like she's dishonest, right? The only person, and I'll be honest, PK, one of the things that annoys me, people say repeatedly, oh, the only one in the Destiny sphere who's honest about what he does is Dan. Dan is not honest, okay? Dan is 1000% not honest. Dan, when you accuse him of doxing people, he's avoidant. Dan likes to act like he's above it all, like he's the good guy, stuff like that, when he's doing the shame shit. I don't see Dan as honest at all. I see Dan as incredibly dishonest. Dan is literally no better than Bad Empanada. Dan will go after people's sponsors. Dan will dox people. Dan will do all of this shit. I don't see him as honest about being dishonest at all, right? The only person in this sphere that I see as, like, somewhat honest about Destiny is Connor. Connor Points. I think Connor Points is the only one who's honest about it, because I feel like he's willing to admit when he's wrong. He had a debate with Dickers where he admitted he was in the wrong. He's willing to take his L's, and he's willing to admit when he thinks Destiny is doing something, like, stupid or weird. He does the same, like, genre of, like, coward behavior that Erudite does, where it's like, oh, what Destiny did is bad, but, like, I'm still going to stand by him. And even though it goes against, like, every single fucking principle you have, right? So he still does that, but he is by far, in my opinion, he is by far the most honest actor in the Destiny sphere, I think, right? But no, like, this is just completely fucking dishonest. Like, can we leave kids out of it? And it's like, bro, Destiny doesn't leave his kid out of it. There's a tweet. I'm not going to pull it up because, again, I don't want to give, you know, significant attention to the kid. But there's a tweet where someone calls Destiny a deadbeat father, and Destiny's reply is to post a selfie of him and his kid. And it's like, Destiny's the one bringing his kid into this. Destiny is the one doing this, right? But, you know, whatever. This is kind of like, you know, what are our thoughts on this? Because I feel pretty strongly about this take. It's just like everyone around Destiny is a fucking, like, spineless hypocrite, I feel like. Including food shops. That's just me. Also, I bought Baja Blast Zero Sugar today. I'm very excited about that. Lynn says, I don't care. Lynn, I'm going to have a feeling you're going to be very upset by this stream. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Lynn. I have a feeling you're not going to enjoy a lot of the things I have to say in this stream. Zero sugar sucks. Listen, I like fizzy drink. I like fizzy drink. However, I'm not going to fucking drink like 400 fucking calories. That's insane. Obviously, I'm going to buy the zero sugar option. It tastes the same. It tastes the same to me. I'm perfectly fine. Listen, if aspartame takes like 5 years off my life, I'm perfectly fine with that. I can justify that. To be able to have a fizzy drink every now and again that doesn't make me fucking insanely, like, diabetic, okay? All right. Well, it seems like you guys all agree. I love being glazed. Let's look at this tweet then. So Food Shops. This is a clip of Food Shops by Chirp Mullet. Pedo-adjacent streamer Food Shops advocates for swatting. After giving weak rebuttals to the claims of being a pedophile, she volunteers 2 scenarios that warrant doxing.
Number 1, if the person is a doxer themselves, okay?
If the person's a doxer themselves, you should report them, right? To whatever service. Most services don't allow doxing, don't permit doxing. You know, if you're against doxing, report them to the service. An eye for an eye makes the world go blind, okay? Where pedo adjacent, well, no, she, listen, it's a funny term. I'm fine. Listen, there are scenarios where I don't feel bad if someone's doxed. I don't think anybody should be doxed. To be clear, okay? To be clear, I don't think anybody should be doxed. I don't think there is any scenario you can give me where calling the cops or getting the authorities involved is less effective than doxing, okay? But there are a few scenarios where I just won't feel bad. I'll still stand by my principle, like, no, don't dox people. But if it's like a pedophile that gets doxed, if it's like a zoophile, if it's an animal abuser, if it's anybody who is like insanely just like violent and stuff like that, essentially, right? Stuff like that, it's like, I'm not going to feel bad if you're doxed, but I'm still going to be principally against it, right? It's the same way if a fucking pedophile gets jumped on the street, it's like, yeah, I'm not really going to feel bad if they get beat the fuck up in the middle of like Chicago or something, right? However, you're like, yeah, I'm principally against like assaulting people in broad daylight. I think that's like pretty bad for society as a whole, right? So like doxers getting doxed, yeah, I'm not going to feel bad for that. However, you know, fighting fire with fire, doing fucking eye for an eye, all of these things, like obviously that's not going to help anyone, right? Pretty sure that's not going to help anyone, but let's keep listening.
Number 1, if the person is a doxer themselves, okay? Number 2, if you've seen a scenario online where, for example, you see some domestic abuse happening and
you see domestic abuse happening. Wait, you see domestic abuse happening. Domestic abuse happening?
I don't wish to bring any
Domestic abuse. Domestic abuse?
Around the end of 2011, Destiny sexually assaulted a woman on his live stream. I'm not using the word allegedly here because we have video of him doing it and he has openly admitted that it was sexual assault.
I would say that in my streaming career in the past, like totally publicly, like I completely and totally like sexually assaulted a girl on stream before for like fucking 5 minutes or whatever. I got super fucking drunk and was like grabbing her fucking breast the entire time.
Later, Destiny
Wait. So am I missing something? Hold on, let's play that again.
if you've seen a scenario online where, for example, you see some domestic abuse happening and
If you see domestic abuse happening.
Around the end of 2011, Destiny sexually assaulted a woman on his live stream. I'm not using the word allegedly here.
Jacob, he can listen. Here's the thing with Destiny. He can 1000% move on, right? Let's even use fucking Femias as an example. They're in chat, right? They've literally doxed like fucking 12-year-olds or something. They've literally doxed like little kids, and nobody talks about it anymore. You want to know why? Because they corrected the behavior. Right? Nope, my dog is freaking the fuck out. I don't know if you guys can hear that. They have corrected the behavior, they've moved on, and they've bettered themselves, and they haven't done it, you know, again, right? All right? So it's like, what are you supposed to say? Am I still going to call Femias a doxer? No. Okay, well, Femi, you threatened to dox. Well, you threatened. Fuck, what was it? You threatened to dox this like little black kid. I forget his name. He was like a little jet. You threatened to dox this like little jet. I was making fun of you. I forget his name. Can you move past these clips? Obviously. But you know, they're on the internet. You can still use them to, you can still bring them up. Who cares? It's like, I'm never going to complain, right? I've gotten a different timestamp. Let's see.
Abusive towards his ex-wife, and he also admitted to choking out another one of his exes multiple times. However, he claims that this was done in self-defense.
Because you better fucking believe I had to fucking choke her out a few fucking times.
Finally,
Huh. But no, I think these clips are relevant in terms of showing that Destiny has not really changed. Not that he's still sexually harassing or assaulting people. I don't think that's the case. But he's getting worse. He is harassing Cherry. I believe 1000% he is harassing Cherry. He is continuing to harass and belittle berate Cherry on his offline DGG chat, on Twitter, in JStock's kick chat occasionally. All of these things. Which is pretty disgusting in my opinion, especially when she's accusing you of sexual impropriety. You should, you know, probably be fucking quiet. If Cherry has any case against you, which, you know, I'm not going to make any definitive claims on, there's not a police report that I've been able to see. You know, I'm never going to make any definitive claims, right? About that unless I see something in front of me. However, this person's accusing you of sexual impropriety and they claim that they have a case against you. And you have admitted fault about the Cherry shit, I believe. So, and it's like, hey, Lynn, to be clear, nobody deserves to be fucking harassed. Doesn't matter if you're like insanely schizophrenic. Cherry leaked others' nudes. Is there any proof for this at all? Where is there proof for this? Where is the proof? Kelly Jean? Okay, is there a screenshot? Is there evidence? Or are you going off of Kelly Jean, who doesn't like Cherry? Who has lied before? No, exactly. Does Kelly Jean have proof or is she the proof? Exactly. If you can provide me proof, yeah, I'll disavow that. I'll even stop talking to Cherry because I think that is a line that I will very clearly draw. That is a line I will very clearly draw. I believe Kelly when she's petty. Okay. So no, you should not unless there's evidence. You should not just believe someone's word. That is retarded. So no, unless I have seen evidence, the claim that Cherry spread other people's nudes, as far as I understand, is completely false. And you should not be spreading that. That is harmful rhetoric. That is completely harmful rhetoric. You're retarded. You're retarded. DMs. Okay, only say DMs after you sent me something. I look at my DMs and I don't see anything. Okay, what is this? So we have Destiny. Subpoena Cherry's accusation only matters because it was coordinated with Pixies. This is the third time she's Me Too'd me, lol W. She's generally self-aware, but right now she has no one grounding her and helping her stay sane. The people around her are all just using her to weaponize her in a certain direction. And instead of giving her healthy good advice, they're just fostering her obsessions and insanities because it's epic. Like all day today, she's just ranting and raving about Erudite in JStock's Discord and shit, and they're all clapping along with her. It'll continue until she either has a huge breakdown or JStock, dude, what are we doing here? When JStock regularly deletes all of the DMs. Okay, again, Lynn, if you don't have proof, I'm going to make this very clear, okay? I'm going to make this abundantly clear, actually. If you guys have a claim for something, show me proof. Send me a screenshot of this evidence. If your evidence is some third party saying something, Lynn, I like you, okay? I like you, Lynn, all right? I think you're generally pretty funny. I think you're generally pretty funny, and I enjoy having you in chat. And I don't want to lose you in chat, but I'm gonna make it abundantly clear. If you're gonna make false claims in my chat that have absolutely no fucking evidence behind them, accusing someone of egregious crimes of revenge porn with no evidence, I will ban you. Okay? So let's make it very clear. If you have the opinion that Cherry sent revenge porn around and you have no evidence behind it, keep that opinion to yourself. Because I will ban you from chat, not just about the Cherry shit, okay? This is a very broad spectrum. Unless you have evidence for something, do not claim it in my chat or I will ban you. So it's fine if you think this way. I cannot police your thought. But unless you have evidence for something, keep it to yourself because I will ban you because I'm absolutely fucking not going to be the facilitate any sort of, claims like that without evidence. And to be clear, if Cherry knowingly sent revenge porn of women's nudes to other people, I will 1000% say that is a despicable thing to do. That is illegal. That is fucking crazy. Cherry is a hypocrite, and I will distance myself. I will never talk to this person again. I will never be associated with this person again because I do draw the line there. I think going against someone's consent like that is very disgusting. So to be clear, if there is evidence for this claim, I will 1000% disavow and back off. Okay, almost genius. This is not the stream for you if you're going to complain about me playing 10-year-old clips. Okay? This is not the stream for you. You've been complaining about it for 10 minutes. Sit down and enjoy the content or fuck off. I don't know what to tell you. So Lynn, I'd love to have you in chat. Again, this is not specifically for Lynn. All right? But just anybody. If you don't have evidence for a claim, don't spread it. Unless it's like obviously a joke and you can tell it's a joke. Obviously there's a difference between a joke and a serious claim. If you're trying to spread a serious claim and without evidence, just keep it to yourself. I'm not going to police your thought. I'm not going to critique your thought. But I just don't want to facilitate stuff like that. Okay? To be clear, I will not facilitate like false claims like that. I think that's bad to do. So keep it to yourself. I won't police your thought. You can think it. You can believe 100% that Cherry has done that. However, just don't voice it. All right? So let's keep watching this clip.
And you think that someone is in immediate danger, then yeah, you should be allowed to dox.
Rumor has it you aren't even a cat. Any proof? Fuck, wrong one. Fuck. Wrong. Fuck. There it is. There we go. Oh yeah. Here we go. Belly on day one. Tummy on day one. Jesus.
Like that place and even SWAT that place. Fuck. Right?
And even SWAT that place. Now, this is the big contention I have with this clip. Let's play that again, because I know. Let's go to the swatting part. I'll play it all to the swatting part.
Where, for example, you see some domestic abuse happening and you think that someone is in immediate danger, then yeah, you should be allowed to dox like that place and even SWAT that place. Fuck. Right? If you think that, and send the police to that.
You should dox a place if there is domestic, or you should SWAT a place. Sorry, you should SWAT a place if there's domestic violence going on. To be clear, like I say in this tweet, I'll just read out my tweet because this is pretty much my take. Quote, if domestic abuse is happening, you should be able to dox that place. Is the address being made public going to stop the domestic abuse? What would be more helpful here? Publicly announcing the address or silently calling the cops? Also, swatting is calling in a fake threat. Everything this person says is complete nonsense, and they have no moral argument to back any of it up. They just want to justify Destiny doxing people critical of him. This pedophile is genuinely subhuman filth. This is all true. If there is domestic abuse happening, what the fuck is doxing going to do? What the fuck is doxing going to do in that situation that is going to solve the issue? Exactly. Unironically, Femyaz. Unironically, virtue signaling publicly helps more than calling the police. True. True. This is the same fucking shit that all of these people, like even the fucking pedophile hunters with like the Roblox shit, right? It's like doxing the pedophiles will help. No, it won't. Doxing people is not going to get fucking results, especially for illegal shit like this. What's going to help? Going on Twitter and saying, oh, this guy's hitting his wife, here's his address, or calling the cops and filing a fucking police report. Which one of these is going to be more helpful? Which one of these is going to be more helpful? Is one of them going to potentially, you know, get the police to the residence and, you know, maybe stop the domestic, you know, file a, you know, get the process for filing a restraining order, all this shit. And then one of them is going on Twitter and saying, oh, guys, this guy's hitting his girlfriend. One of these is significantly, one of these is significantly more helpful than the other. You literally cannot give me a situation where doxing someone is going to be more beneficial than calling the cops. You absolutely cannot make the claim that you cannot. There is no examples. And I beg you guys to try. Obviously, give examples in the chat. I'll fucking respond to them. I am pretty hard stance on this. There is no scenario which doxing someone, leaking someone's private information, their full name, their address, their friends, their family, their workplace, whatever it might be, their face even. There is no situation where any of that is going to be better than calling the cops. And if you're doxing someone for something that isn't illegal, then why the fuck are you doxing them? Why the fuck are you doing that? Who is being benefited there? Right? If there is something illegal, like a domestic dispute going on, what if the cops are corrupt? Okay, yeah, we live in fucking Gotham. We live in fucking Gotham. We gotta call Batman instead, dude. Fuck yeah, man. Hell yeah. But the cops are corrupt. Brain rot take, okay? Brain rot take. I don't care. I won. You're fucking gay, okay? You're fucking gay and retarded. But again, this is just like a brain rotted fucking argument. And then the latter half of what they say, you should be able to SWAT that place. To be clear, swatting is not calling the cops. Swatting is not calling the cops. Swatting is making a false claim to the police to the point where they have to send a SWAT team under false pretenses to harass someone, to threaten someone, right? That is what swatting is. Swatting is, you call the cops, you say, hey, this guy's hostages. There's a guy with a gun in this house, he has hostages, and he's going to kill them. Or there's a guy in this house, he has a fucking bomb. There's a guy in this building, he has a fucking bomb. He's going to do something, right? When there's no actual, you know, crime taking place. That is what swatting is. So this person trying to make a pro-doxing argument, trying to justify doxing, okay? This person is trying to justify doxing when they're misusing terms to try to get to that point. They're saying, oh, you should be able to SWAT someplace. Swatting is never good. Swatting is making a false claim to the cops to harass someone. That is what swatting is. You can get in legal trouble for unjustifiably swatting someone. Swatting is inherently unjustified. That is what swatting is. Swatting is making a false call to the cops to send a SWAT team somewhere to harass someone. They do not understand the terms that they're using. They are trying desperately to make a pro-doxing argument to justify what Destiny is doing, and they are fucking it up because they are too retarded to understand the terms that they're using. So no, to answer the little hypothetical that Food Shops gave here, you should not dox someone that is in a domestic dispute. You should probably, and call me crazy here, you should probably call the cops. You should probably just call the cops. And no, you should never SWAT someone, because swatting someone means you're calling in a false claim. And even let's use this example. If someone's in a domestic dispute, what is the fucking warranting a SWAT team? Even if you call a SWAT team to a fucking domestic, I believe that's unwarranted as well. Calling a fucking, like, 2 cops could probably deal with that. Just break up the fight. This is like just such a deranged, retarded fucking argument. And again, I need to point out the inherent hypocrisy here. This person out of anybody online, people would gladly justify their docs. People would gladly justify their docs. People would gladly justify their docs for the insane shit that they've done and that they've said. People would gladly do that. They self-prescribed themselves as POCD. They self-prescribed themselves lolicon to deal with their POCD. And they decided to jerk off to lolicon for years. They don't know what POCD is. They don't know how to deal with it. They just wanted an excuse to jerk off to what they describe. This isn't my description, okay? This isn't my description. This is their description. They just wanted an excuse to jerk off to what they describe as drawn child porn. Green, I understand to some extent. I think you as a citizen do have some obligation to some extent. Maybe not online, but like in person, if you know a domestic's going on, yeah, call the cops. I think that's fair. Online, I can understand someone not wanting to get involved. I personally don't want to get involved online. I'm not going to getting involved in any crime. The moment something gets serious to a point of a crime, yeah, I'm disconnecting. But yeah, like in real life, if you hear your neighbor like fucking beating the shit out of their wife, yeah, call the cops. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. Yeah, call the cops. Sure. Why not? So yeah, this is just like a completely retarded argument that they're doing. Again, they have literally no moral argument for anything. What is POCD? POCD, to explain briefly, okay, a lot of people will say POCD is fake. I'm under the impression it's real. I think, no, fuck. God.
I don't like the Jews.
Okay. POCD is pedophile OCD, pedophilic OCD, pedophilia OCD, whatever. Essentially what it is, OCD is not just like you want to be organized and stuff like that, right? OCD can be like anxiety of things, right? So if you have a consistent fear of a certain thing, it can be like a fear of leaving your oven on, or a fear of not locking your door. If you're constantly afraid of maybe even being killed, if you're constantly afraid that someone's like about to kill you, so you're kind of paranoid a little bit. POCD is specific to pedophilia. POCD does not mean you are a pedophile. POCD is the fear of being a pedophile, right? POCD is the anxiety that you are a pedophile. So the fear of it. It does not mean you actually have a pedophilic disorder or whatever. It is the fear that you are attracted to children. You're not actually attracted to them. It is the fear that like, dude, what if I'm a pedophile? Fuck. Right? Why do you believe Foods doesn't have it? Okay, if you're scared of being a pedophile, let's walk through this. I don't believe Food Shops has it. I don't even think they've ever been diagnosed for it. And I don't believe any therapist would ever tell them or encourage them to act on their impulses of jerking off to anything, even slightly resembling child porn, to deal with those impulses, to be clear. But even past that, right? Even past that, Food Shops describes themselves having POCD. And the way they treat themselves with POCD is to willingly look up lolicon, which they describe as drawn child porn, and to jerk off to it. And they have jerked off to it consistently for what they describe as years, okay? So if you are scared of being a pedophile, in my mind, it makes absolutely no fucking sense to encourage those feelings and to consistently masturbate and jerk off and come and shoot your little white goo everywhere to what you describe and what you think is drawn child porn. And let's even go into what drawn child porn even means, because I don't think that's what lolly is. I think child porn is a very specific thing. Drawn child porn. Let's talk about what child porn is, okay? Child porn is the filmed exploitation and abuse of a child that is filmed and then distributed for profit. This child is going to be traumatized. This child is going to be ruined for a while unless they get significant help, generally speaking, right? Child porn is abuse. Child porn is the filmed abuse of a child. Irreversible damage. You are filming the irreversible damage to a child, okay? So when they describe what they jerk off to as drawn child porn, it probably speaks to what they think they're doing. It probably speaks to what they think in their head they are doing and they are encouraging themselves to do. What they think they are doing, they think they are watching a child be abused and they are enjoying it. It's exposure therapy. You don't understand. That's not how that works. That's not how that works for POCD. That's not how that works for any OCD. As far as I understand it. So no, if you self-prescribe yourself as pedophilic OCD, and then your fix to that is self-prescribing yourself to jerk off to lolly, which you describe as drawn child porn, yeah, I'm gonna, who's that manga artist got caught with lolly porn and child porn? No clue. I'm not a manga guy. I don't know. But yeah, to be clear, I don't even think lolly's drawn child porn. I think using the term child porn is inherent to like abuse, right? I think lolly is something significantly less bad. There's no harm in the creation of lolly. You can argue that there's harm in the distribution of lolly, which I would 1000% agree with. I think the distribution of lolly and the community that lolly has formed is probably super harmful to the perpetuation of sexualization of children online. However, the creation of these two things are insanely different, wildly different, right? So I don't even think they're correlated at all, right? Obviously for shorthand, I'm never going to complain. It's the same thing when you call like a lolicon a pedophile. Like technically, yeah, I disagree. I don't think jerking off to lolly inherently means you're a pedophile. But like if someone calls a lolicon a pedophile, it's fine shorthand. The same way if someone calls lolly drawn child porn, it's fine shorthand. I'm not going to definition fag that hard, right? I think it's fine shorthand. I think it's whatever.
I'm guessing that they don't like me too. And you can tell me if I cross the line or if I'm racist. I try to keep an open mind. I put them all into a camp, but it's my concentration that wasn't really there all along. I know I could treat Jews better, and I can probably have been a better friend. Tell me, is it too late to try? I know I made Jews cry, and a few million Jews are dead, but I know I could treat Jews better if I get a second chance. I'll stop fighting Jews.
Big point here is that Food Shops likes to scream from the rooftops about her attraction. At some point, ironically, painting yourself as a pedo isn't a joke. It's legitimate catharsis for her. To be clear, I think I agree with Rezi on this. I think Food Shops is a pedophile. Yeah, I agree. I think Food Shops is a pedophile. Do I think that they're ever going to rape a kid? I don't think so. Does that make it any more better? Not really when they're indulging in things like lolicon. I think if you are a pedophile, the only correct option for you is chemical castration. You should be self-aware enough to know, hey, I have an attraction. I don't know if I'm going to be able to control it. I'm going to get chemically castrated. I think that's perfectly fine. That is a perfectly fine option. And I get Food Shops is mostly doing that with HRT. Their shriveled up little Asian cock is getting even more shriveled by abusing HRT. However, they're obviously still sexually deviant to some degree. So I don't think the HRT is enough to consider chemical castration. It might cut their sperm count down. It might make them infertile, but I don't think that's enough. I think if they genuinely are a pedophile and they genuinely have an attraction to children, they should get chemically castrated. I believe that wholeheartedly. This is the same opinion I have for any pedophile. If you have an attraction to children, I don't think, again, I'm pretty woke on the pedophile shit, right? If you have an attraction to children, like, you don't need to fucking kill yourself. You don't need to die. You don't need to do any of that. Yeah, go fucking talk to a therapist, look into chemical castration. You don't even need to tell anybody. This is not something you need to be proud of. This is not something you need to, you know, love yourself, be self-aware enough, and you know, empathetic enough to children who are abused to just get chemically castrated. I believe that. So yeah, I don't think the HRT is enough. I think food shops needs to go one step further. Max, what are you sending me? What is this? Rape is the most intense kind of enjoyment. Women is our oxygen. Thanks, I guess. W. W, I guess. W, I guess, dude. I don't know. Thanks, Federal Rape, for showing me this. I'm joining the server. Yeah, join the Discord, folks. We are a bustling community. We are a bustling community. And again, I feel like I need to point out, right? I feel like I need to point out one of the reasons that food shops likes Lolicon is the power imbalance between an adult and a child. The idea of an adult taking advantage of a child is what turns them on. This is not something that happens specifically in lolly shit. What turns them on is the real world abuse of power that happens between an adult and a child when a child is raped. So, you know, just feel like I need to point that out. And again, I feel like we've lost the sauce a little bit, but again, yeah, their doxing take here is just complete and utter, just like retardation. This makes no sense. This makes no sense. Is there any other tweets I should go over before we move on to the content? Because I do want to watch their Mr. Girl Collins. It'll be a bit of a slow day. We'll have a casual day. Bit of a slow, relaxed stream. Are there any other tweets? Put in topic suggestions if there's any other tweets, any other clips. What is this? Also, if you guys can, a better way to clip stuff on Twitter. So it says x.com. If you just put the word cancel behind X, cancel. This is a Twitter alternative that has the same linking, you know, structure. So any link, if you just put cancel after it, it'll show up like this. And this way, you don't need to be logged in to view Twitter. You don't need to be logged in to view the tweets, stuff like that. You can view entire threads. If you do clip, you know, I can obviously just like type in the cancel after. It's fine. But I would suggest you use this because you don't need an account. And I'm obviously not logged into anything on this browser that I use for streaming. So if you're clipping something and, you know, you want to just be, I suppose, you know, generous to me, put cancel after. It'll just make it, you know, slightly easier. Okay, let me, okay, I think we might need to view the actual tweet instead for this. I just showed this website and it's fucking up, so this is not a good look for me. So, at food shops, burns the bridge with Mrow. This is my old account, but whatever. Ironically fits the bill for one. Writes pedophile manifesto, desire for a 12-year-old, attracted to the power imbalance, seeks out pedophiles to talk to. When will we realize she's bragging about it in our faces?
The pedo and the lolly content, and this is the stuff that I felt really strongly on, and I didn't want to private them because I felt really strongly on them, and I wanted to own my past, and I just wanted to keep it up because I was
strong
like, fuck you
feelings
guys,
about pedophiles.
I'm gonna have my principles, and yeah, I didn't care about what anybody else thought.
I'm a cute little girl that I can wrap my arms around.
So you like being like in the dominant role?
Yes.
Oh, like you're like big spoon is what you're saying? Oh, I get you.
I need to have like a 12-year-old.
Whoa! It gets me every time.
fetishes or whatever.
Is like, do you mean like the aesthetic
it
or
is-
just like the kids?
Probably it's definitely the power difference. It is more of the power difference more than anything else. I was reaching out to organizations that was
The power difference between an adult and a minor.
not just like random shitters. And they were like actually talking, like these were people who actually searched up actual, you know, CP and stuff like that. Like these were how crazy like these people were, you know what I mean? Like this is how high quality it was.
You talk to organizations that deal with ways that we deal with child predators. Like actual legitimate organizations that advocate for like progression, whatever's okay.
Oh yeah. So
Wow, W. And now she did do that Q&A. Dude, I tried watching that Q&A. I tried watching that Q&A. It's just so fucking boring. I will never understand what some people get out of food shops. I'm almost half tempted to you know, say that they're botting their viewers, because I genuinely you know, I'm not, obviously not a serious claim. I think they are legitimately getting viewers. You know, ultimately I'm happy for them. I think content creation is a wonderful job. I enjoy doing it. But yeah, I legitimately cannot fathom how some people can enjoy their content legitimately.
and having spicy thumbnails and calling me a dumbass or something, all right? But calling me a PDF on a thumbnail when we have a bridge is too far, okay?
So I can't call them a pedophile, but they can call themselves one. Okay, I get it now.
Okay, this is too far, okay? So I messaged him. I was like, yo, I'm not okay with this. And he was like, okay, I'll change it. And there's this. What? He just calls me PDF in the title.
Which again, to be clear, yeah, to be clear, and I'll be perfectly honest about this. Food Shops asked me to change the first thumbnail. I was going to change it. Okay? They asked me cordially, like, hey, can you change this? I was like, yeah, I'll change that. You know, my bad. Obviously, I don't make my thumbnails. My editor does it all. I'll change the thumbnail. I don't care. However, the moment they started justifying doxing, I have a hard line. There are very few things that I have a hard line on. I'm okay with people lying. I was perfectly fine with Food Shops lying to my face about Destiny, lying to my face multiple times. Perfectly fine with that. I can handle people lying, because if they're obviously in private, I think it's different. But if you're lying publicly on a live stream to me, you're not really lying to me. You're just lying to the audience, you know? So I don't see that as a big deal. I don't care. It makes you look bad to your audience if they care about that sort of thing. I can handle them being pro Destiny, right? I'm friends with people who are pro Destiny, right? I'm friends with people in real life that like Destiny. One of my IRL friends, unironically, is a big fan of like Destiny and Short Fat Otaku. I was driving in his car and he's like, dude, let me show you this guy. And he starts playing, because he has like a mount for his phone. He starts playing a Short Fat Otaku video while we're driving around. And he's like, dude, look at the Short Fat Otaku guy. I'm a big fan of this guy. And he starts showing me this guy's content. So like, I'm friends with these people in real life. I can handle it. I don't care that much. Right? Like, I'm fine with people being friends with, or not. I'm fine with people liking Destiny's content. Perfectly fine with that. I don't even care if some of you guys like Destiny's content. Who cares? The only thing I care about, and even then, it's not a deal breaker, is I would prefer it if Destiny fans acknowledge the shit that he does, rather than just try to sweep for it, blindly defend it, stuff like that. That's what I would prefer. But, you know, we obviously don't live in a perfect world. The thing I have a hard line on, like, you know, non-consensual shit and doxing. I think those are I probably have more hard lines. I'd have to sit down and think about it, right? Are we really going to condemn every normie? No, I think if you watch someone, you're fine. I don't care. But the very few hard lines I have are like non-consensual shit. If you're sending like non-consensual nudes if you're, sexually harassing, sexually assaulting people, if you're doing anything like that, and like pro-doxing shit, I think people have a right to privacy on the internet, the same way people have a right to privacy in real life, right? So I do have very few hard lines, but when I do have those hard lines, I am very strict about them. So when Food Shops was trying to justify Dicker's docs, and by proxy justify my docs, justify Queeman's docs, justify J-Stock's docs, justify all these people's docs, to me it's kind of like, okay, yeah, I'm kind of done. I don't give a fuck at this point. Like, no, I'm not going to change the thumbnail. No, I'm not going to change the title. I'm not going to do any of this shit. Like, absolutely not. 1000%. I do have hard lines when it comes to certain things, and I am relatively strict about those hard lines. I'll even handle people that are like, I'm even fine with lolicons. I've talked to lolicons on stream. Can probably talk to more on stream. I think it's interesting content. I think it's entertaining content. Like, there are things that I can deal with. There are things that I can 1000% deal with, right? But like, no, I'm not gonna like, I guess positively associate with you if you're gonna justify my docs and say that I deserve to be doxxed because I'm critical of Destiny. And what you describe as going after someone's job is criticizing them. That is fucking ridiculous. That is fucking absolutely ridiculous. You should be able to criticize people. You 1000% should be able to criticize. That is insane. That's fucking ridiculous. But anyways, let's finish the clip.
Just call me PDF in the title. Insane. Just look at Jeffrey Epstein issue, okay? People are bursting at the seams in their pants the moment they think of kids being raped, all right? It's extremely effective. There's nothing that turns on people more than kids, okay?
Chops pedophile manifest. What was that? What? Huh? What? W? Okay, there went. I'm getting mogged right now, dude. I'm getting fucking mogged right now. That's my bad. Esto? What is this, man? The Dissension Daybook. Food Shops or cat? I'm Food Shops. What? Dude. This is a 30-page document.
Wow. It feels so good to fucking be myself. Fuck some kids, you know? I'm a motherfucking pedophile. Yeah, I'm a motherfucking pedophile. It's not a joke. I'm a motherfucking pedophile. Ah!
Wow, W clip. This chirp mullet guy. Let me get this tweet. I'm going to retweet this. This is a very good tweet. I'm going to like and retweet. This is a very good tweet. You love a clipper. I'm going to follow this guy. You love a clipper that's willing to put in some editing work to get the value out of a full tweet. That's good. That's good. I like that. I'll even put this in chat. There's a new account, it looks like. Thank you, Unidentified Cryptid, for the 10 memberships. Jesus, insanely generous. Thank you. Oh my goodness. I appreciate it, man. That is a lot. 10 gifted. I appreciate it. That is going to go a long way. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Smile. Sorry, one sec. I'm responding to a DM. All right. Are there any other tweets? Any other tweets on the tweet marathon before we move on to the Mr. Girl call-in? Any other tweets? I'll look at a few other tweets. I'm glad to look at tweets. I'm a big tweet consumer. Okay? I'm a big tweet consumer. Dead air. Dead air. All right, let me look. Dead air maxing, true. Rose Malay followed me on Twitter. She locked down her... I saw this. Did I save this tweet? Oh, yeah, they're literally just fear-mongering on Twitter as well. There are some tweets that I saved, actually, that I forgot about. Queeman Orbiter, Purple Perry Gaming, is keeping a spreadsheet of who is currently spreading Willie Mac show or not. Blue highlight seems to be pro-Willie, while orange seems to be anti-Willie. Totally not keeping a list around for who knows what. So it's just like a complete double standard. It is a complete and utter double standard. They're complaining. Obviously, the insinuation here is doxing, right? Obviously, the insinuation here is doxing. It goes without saying. The insinuation here is doxing. I feel like that's fair to say, right? They're like, oh, who knows what? Smile. Like, yeah, they're saying Perry is going to dox people. I think that is the insinuation that at least I get. Okay. So it's just a complete and utter double standard. It's like, okay, so you're complaining when someone associated with Queeman does this, but then Destiny is perfectly fine. And again, I don't like doing the pure like hypocrisy hunting bullshit. I think that's generally pretty cringe. I think there's a time and a place for it. I think right now is a good time and a place for it generally. Like, yeah, this is just complete and total fear mongering. I don't think Perry's going to dox anybody. It's a fucking spreadsheet. Who cares? Like, it's funny. And even then, it's just like a complete and utter double standard. And then we have this tweet. Food shops, criticism not welcome. Food shops blocks comments on their debate with Dickers. And you can see the comments right here are fully disabled. So, I don't know if this is something they do on all of their streams, where they disable comments. And we have a good epic thumbnail. Save this picture of food shop. Max, send me this picture of food shops. If I make a video on them, I'm definitely going to use this in the thumbnail. But yeah, no, this person is just like complete wretched, spineless, double standard, hypocrite, complete just freak. Like this is retarded. Like you are silencing people from commenting on this. Which again, I'm not going to make any hard claims here because they could do this for every stream. The same way, like I unlist my streams and put them in a playlist so they're not pushed in the algorithm and stuff like that. That the same way they could, have a reason for turning off comments on maybe all their streams. I don't know if this is specific to this. I don't really care to look into it. But if that is the case, like sure, obviously I'll take that back. But if that is specific to just this stream, that is ridiculous. That is complete and utter, just like open cowardice. And again, this is just like deplorable to me. This is just deplorable to me.
So he feeds into, he literally raids into an admitted small peep who is farming his minor child, who's being farmed by Drew Pavlu. I watched a little bit of it. Did you pull this clip? Hold on, do I got it here? Where's my Chud clip?
I feel...
Did you know Connor came in like moralized to Chud about platforming food shops? Did you get this bit brought in?
I saw that a couple days ago. I didn't play it on stream though. I know of it. I know that it exists.
I just think it's funny watching Connor drop another one of his principles that like he's definitely not going to do anything about this. He's just going to like, oh, that principle that, my friends totally, yeah, what can you do, guys? We got to beat Trump. What do you think the actual breaking point for Connor is? I feel like this would be a fun pool to start. What do you think Connor's actual breaking point with his Destiny guy would be? Like, if this Destiny guy actually,
I don't think it's pedophilia. I think it's in.
Well, depending on how strict you are, we might have gotten there tonight. Did you catch this one? Hold on.
Wait,
catch,
no, no, don't tell me.
Hold on. Did you catch this one? That Food Chops is watching Destiny's minor son debate Drew Pavlu, and Destiny raids into Food Chops while she's doing that.
Did he know?
Did he know that his son was being watched, or did he know that this person's a... I'm guessing that he knew both, but he'd probably deny both.
Bro, that's rough. Jesus. Have you seen, I know it's not new, but Nate's been tweeting about it. People have been DMing him, like the clip of Destiny, like, sucking cock and shit. It's so disgusting.
Yeah, I generally, like, we try to keep him off the topic, or off topic here, you know, out of bounds.
My bad.
I brought it up. No, I brought it up, but it's like, yeah, I try not to talk about it, because, like, it's just, yeah.
No, I won't bring, that's my bad. I apologize.
No, it's, like, I've seen people say that, or I've seen Destiny said that, right? Destiny's complained about that, so. Obviously, gross. Obviously, people are, yeah.
Yeah, no, I think it's evil. It's ontologically evil.